closed-door meetings on North Korea on Wednesday, reportedly at the request of the US and Britain.
In Germany, 2 former soldiers have been arrested, accused of trying to form a terror group. Prosecutors say they wanted to form a band of mercenaries to fight in the Middle East. And finally, Uganda has received an additional 700,000 doses of Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines, a donation from the People's Republic of China. Isabel Nakiria reports.
China says the donation is part of the global effort to have equitable distribution of vaccines to developing countries. China has pledged to provide 2 billion COVID-19 vaccine doses to the world this year. Uganda's Ministry of Health says the additional 700,000 doses are a timely arrival for teachers who are due for their second jabs.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Ahead of the COP26 climate summit that kicks off at the end of this month in Glasgow, the British government hosting the event has unveiled fresh efforts to boost the country's transition to all-electric vehicles. It's part of the country's net zero emission target for the year 2050. More than £600 million of grants will be used to help phase out petrol and diesel cars over the next 8 years, a move the British government claims will support more than 440,000 jobs. Jill Noel is the head of electric vehicles at LV General Insurance and is welcoming the announcement with caveats.
If it's done right, it has the opportunity to deliver very real benefit to support the increase of electric cars. You know, if we look back at 2020, 108,000 electric vehicles were sold, but 1.2 million petrol and diesel cars were sold. We really do need to see this kind of action to ensure that the car manufacturers are producing more battery electric cars.
In other words, there is still a long way to go, but the UK and the EU are way ahead of the United States in terms of committing to eradicating vehicles powered by fossil fuels. And on that issue at least, President Biden will find himself racing to catch up with some of the country's partners and allies at COP26. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap our top stories, at least 46 people have died in the Himalayan region of Uttarakhand in North India due to severe flooding. North Korean state media has confirmed the test firing of a new submarine-launched ballistic missile. In Germany, 2 former soldiers have been arrested, accused of trying to form a terror group. And Uganda has received an additional 700,000 doses of Sinovac COVID-19 vaccines from China. That's the latest feature story news. Chris Jones reporting.
You're listening to Northern Light Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Tooele.
All right, Mikey, do your dance, Mikey.
I am.
On that bad knee. He just dances.
I'm a one-legged dancer. Loretta's starting to call me Chester from Gunsmoke.
Oh. Not Festus, huh?
Oh, maybe it's Festus. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah, Festus.
Festus. Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, 723. Mike, I hope you're talkative today. We're a little early.
We are.
Oh, yeah,
well,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
7:23.
Yeah, I'm on time for once.
Oh, okay.
I'm only 5 minutes late because news is supposed to start at 7:15. So.
Okay. So if you're
3 minutes.
If you're only 5 minutes late, then you're actually early.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Okay.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. It's KCHW 102.7. You got Scott Allen in the studio and zooming in from the Blue Origin spacecraft, Mike Bentz. Congratulations, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to make a quick radio show because I have 19 minutes from takeoff to landing.
And we're all hoping that you will cry like Captain Kirk did when you come down.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. A little weather this morning. We're going to have some showers. They could become very steady by afternoon. High of 54. Winds to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 100%. Only getting a quarter inch, though. Must come down really slow. Huh. All right. Partly,
That's good.
Yeah, it's partly cloudy, low around 40 tonight. Let's see, rest of the week. Tomorrow we get a little reprieve, partly cloudy, 63 and 48. Then another front's moving in, 53 with a 90% chance of rain. Overnight lows right around 40 for the next several days. Let's see, then Saturday, 52 and 40 with a 60% chance of rain. 70% chance on Sunday, 53 and 44. Going to be a wet weekend. I hope you enjoyed the last couple beautiful days, because looking ahead at the forecast, that was it.
Well, we were talking before we got on the air, the Obamagenesis is going to hit on the coast on Sunday.
So I want to know about Obamagenesis.
Okay. Well, I'd never heard of it before, but it's called a bomb cyclone. Ooh. And basically it's a cyclone because it's in the Pacific, but it's doesn't happen very often. The last time it happened was Thanksgiving of 2019. It hit the coast, and basically it's like a hurricane that's coming up out of the Pacific that's going to match up with a cold front storm coming down out of Alaska right off the Washington and British Columbia coast.
Oh, so
by the combination of the two, then they'll have high winds. They're predicting anywhere from 60 to 100 miles an hour, actually.
Wow.
And anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of rain. In that general area. And of course, that's all going to start moving east. And so the Obamagenesis is going to hit Chihuahua. I'm going to predict Tuesday. How's that sound?
Tuesday. Well, we've got rain from Friday through Tuesday. So I'm going to say you're probably right. I don't see any high winds, though. So apparently by the time it makes it over the Cascades, they're thinking it's going to slow down.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. But when I was reading this article, they were talking about, I thought it interesting because they were talking about 6 to 12 inches of rain, but in the mountains, yards of snow.
Oh, yards, huh?
Yards.
All right.
I've never heard snowfall termed in yards.
So they're talking maybe the Cascades.
Cascades. Yeah.
Wow.
Olympics, Cascades, and of course, north of us up into the Rockies. Into Canada.
Right.
So winter is beginning.
Wow. All right. With a big noise, with a trumpet.
That's right.
All right. A couple of news headlines from around the country. Alyssa Milano, the actress, arrested yesterday. I like that. She was actually protesting. I don't know what she did to get arrested. The story didn't really kind of say what she got on a hand with. But they were out there protesting voter rights. She said, "We came back to the White House to deliver a clear message to President Biden. We need actions that match the urgency of his words on voting rights, and its time is running out. The Freedom to Vote Act has to pass now if we're going to protect voting rights in the next election for all of us, for black voters, brown voters, for women, younger voters, older voters, voters with disabilities, and working people of all backgrounds." I don't know what's contained in this act. I am not versed on it, so I can't comment one way or the other.
Yeah, I can't either.
All right.
All
right. I thought everything was fine.
Well, my only comment is if you don't vote, you don't have a voice. So
let's make sure everybody can vote. And
right.
Yeah.
And you look at it like we all got our ballots, this last week, or at least I did. And it's actually the smallest ballot I think I've seen since I've been here as far as the number of choices. But the one thing in there I'm really going to encourage people to do is vote for the school levy.
There you go.
When I read through it, it's
the opinions of Mike Bentz do not vote for, do not necessarily represent the board of directors of KCHW.
No, I don't. No. But I guess maybe I got to be better. I'm going to say, please vote.
Please vote. There you go.
That's right.
No, it's a good thing. Let's see what else I got here. Oh, yeah. The king of tackiness, Donald Trump, strikes again. Yesterday, a day after the death of former Secretary of State Colin Powell, former President Donald Trump disparaged the diplomat and decorated general in a statement released by his office. Trump criticized Powell's record on the Iraq War and derided the news media for treating the former Secretary of State so beautifully after his death. He said, "Hope that happens to me." Don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. Especially now that you went after Colin Powell.
I was going to say,
wow.
Probably Yeah, very, very well respected person.
Yeah. So you know what I'm gonna say to Mr. Trump is keep it up. Please keep it up. Wow. You don't wait a few weeks if you want to talk about what happened in history. Don't release a statement like that. That's tacky.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Well, the king of reality TV.
Yeah. Let's see. Facebook says it's changing its name. Like that's going to help its problems.
So I saw that as a headline. Do they ever say in there what they're going to change it to?
Oh, no. Big secret. Unless somebody's going to leak it in the next couple of days. Yeah, it doesn't say. They're also, I read in the story, they're releasing a new virtual reality world. You know how they're really into the games, casino games, games where you can build your own farm and that kind of stuff. They've got a whole new platform coming out called Horizon Worlds, which is a virtual reality world. And then they're releasing some glasses to go with it in next September. Yeah, some virtual reality glasses. So the future's coming and I just don't want it to. Yeah, I saw a movie where a guy or a girl falls in love with an AI. That's next. Which makes me say I wish I was an AI.
You wish you were an AI? Okay, well that's good. One of our days today is, I'm getting an emergency alert.
All right. Is that on your phone? That means we probably
It's
got
on
one
my
coming
phone.
up.
I can't turn it off.
All right, we're probably getting one on the radio here shortly too. Just keep talking though, because it'll cover us up. All right. Let's see. Made it through weather. A few news headlines. That was the only stuff that was up on top there. Let's move things along. I know as we go into our nonprofit lowdown for our typical Wednesday fodder during the first half. I'll start off by talking about Little Shop of Horrors. We had Eric Stevens in last week on Tuesday, and you can check that video out. It's always fun to have Eric in the studios. And that show opens this weekend. So you've got a Friday and Saturday show at 7 o'clock, 2 p.m. matinee on Sunday, and then the next week, the 29th and 30th, perfect for Halloween. Right? Little Shop of Horrors. There'll just be the 7 o'clock shows on Friday and Saturday. They're skipping the Sunday matinee, probably because that day is actually Halloween.
Right.
Yeah. So they figure parents might be busy and that kind of stuff. But, we've got a play coming up. All right?
Good. Yeah, those have been few and far between. So get out there and support our arts.
That's right. Now, you said you've got a bad knee going on. You just had some surgery on it. Have you you said you drove by the park a couple times this weekend.
I did,
All
yeah.
right.
And I haven't had the surgery yet. I'm still trying to get an appointment.
Okay.
But I drove by the park a couple times. I drove by on Saturday, mid-afternoon, and it looked to me like there are lots of vendors, lots of cars parked. I actually saw you on Facebook doing your spiel.
Yeah.
It looked to me like it was fairly well attended. Definitely something to do. And I think this time around, from what I understand, it was kind of a tiptoe into the water, see how it works. And if it works, then we'll really put some bang behind it next year.
Yeah.
And
I use the word poorly attended because I expected a lot more people. And you're right. There were cars parked all the way around the park. It wasn't like Chautauqua, kind of traffic. But every slot I know in front of the, like during Saturday afternoon, every slot in front of the park on the side and in front of the bowling alley was filled. The thing that Michelle did from 509's Finest that was really awesome, I don't know if you noticed, the way she separated the vendors. She used, even though she didn't have 100 vendors like they do at Chautauqua, she used the entire space of the park and kept each booth widely spaced for social distancing. And so that made it look maybe like it, kind of wasn't as busy. Maybe to a point when you were in the park, but it's because everybody was so spread out. So
well, see, I think just the opposite. By spreading it out like that, it makes it look like it was a big event.
There you go. Well, so it had a double effect. It protected people from congregating too close together, and I guess it had that kind of effect from the outside. Right. So,
well, and then I came back by Sunday about 6 o'clock in the evening. And coming home, and they were still rocking. Well, I guess they were country music and whatever at that point. but it looked like they were. I mean, the cars were still all parked. The side streets were still filled. So obviously, people were still out there on a Sunday. And of course, we had beautiful weather. You couldn't have asked for better weather.
There was a couple scheduling snafus, I know, with the bands, where a couple of the hard rock bands from Saturday ended up on Sunday. And I think that kind of threw the crowd off a little bit because people will walk through and were expecting the country, because that's what we had talked about on the radio and the ad. But then because of scheduling problems for the bands, or somebody that didn't show up and then did show up because they were confused, there was a couple rock bands, hard rock bands on Saturday, which I had a couple people come by the booth and go, I thought today was country. And I was like, it will be in just about 45 minutes, because each set lasted about 45 minutes, and then it's another band. You know, it's a festival. They're moving them on. And the way that worked, that was amazing. It was they did a really good job on keeping things under control and keeping things moving. I talked about this yesterday with Val. There was one caveat. There was one a band, and I've been saying their name just because what they did was wrong, and that's All But Lost. Horrible lead singer. I mean, not talent-wise. He's kind of screaming, so it's hard to tell. But his mouth between the songs in front of families and children, talking to kids. Well, there's 20 of them sitting on the steps, on the center stage there, and then dropping dirty words. And probably the worst word that you could say in public, like he was in some dive bar or something instead of a city park. It was absolutely moronic. Like he thinks, it was all ego. Like he thinks he's Kid Rock and cool or something. And I'm sorry, you're just a Spokane rock band. Get over it.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's important to note that doesn't reflect the sponsors.
It doesn't.
Nor the future.
And I tried to talk about that. Because people kept commenting to me on everybody that came to the booth Sunday were talking about that band yesterday. Oh, and I was like, don't let that be what you take away from this, because the whole thing was awesome. There was just one jerk in the mix, and there's always one bad egg in there somewhere.
Oh yeah,
and that was definitely a bad egg. The promoter, and just for people that might not have caught this yesterday, the promoter did look at me once, and I was talking to him about it, and he goes, "Yeah, we won't be having him to any more of our events." That was embarrassing for them too, and for the sponsors, it was, I was just like devastated. I was sick to my stomach. I had a hole, and I was like, I wish this guy would just shut up. Can we, and I went up and said, can we turn him off? And he said, well, he's kind of he was being belligerent about having to get off the stage and being late getting on the stage, and his comment was, I'm afraid they'll just, because they had amps too. He goes, I can shut down my sound system, but it doesn't stop theirs. So there was you get to that point. Well, are we gonna make this guy angry and he really goes nuts, or are we just gonna hope it gets over as fast as it can?
Yeah. That's you could have like this big master switch that shuts off the electricity, but that's really not going to accomplish anything except probably irritate that person more.
Well, and the thing that worried me about it is some people, came away because we were a sponsor and we ran announcements on it that we were putting on the show, and I didn't want that to reflect on the radio station. I know the other sponsors, Hartels and Acres, they surely don't want that kind of stuff, reflecting on them. So just to the public, just realize it is what it was, and it was just one person and kind of out of people's control. I don't know if that's a finable offense in the city of Chihuahua, but it would have sure been nice to see a cop walk up there and give him a ticket. I would have loved that. I think everybody would start cheering.
But see, the problem with that is then it gives them their moment of fame.
Yeah.
That's the other side of that.
But it would have been cool if he would have kept being belligerent and got arrested or something.
That's true.
He was a big boy, though. They would have needed several cops.
No, what you do is you bring in one of the big claws they use in logging and just pick him up.
Yes,
like in a skidder.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Drop him in the trash can.
Up, rattle him around a little bit, dip him in the current once or twice, cool him off. Then throw him in the back of a dump truck.
Sad public performance. And I know some of the locals went on their website and picked on them, but then they just called them bad names.
Yeah.
So that's what you get, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you kind of roll the dice to a degree.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it comes up okay, sometimes it doesn't.
That's right. So we've been really lucky with our shows that we've done, but I try to really vet them, and make sure that they know when they come into one of our mini concerts what their audience is going to be and what's appropriate. Yeah. I usually cover that ground. So hard with rock bands. There you go. But It was awesome. And for people that went, oh, the music was too hard, you just had to wait till the next band, because almost every genre, I would say, was covered.
Right.
I was totally impressed. Craig McQuain's in a new band called Old Souls and Antiques. And I want to say kind of a rockabilly bluegrass. It was different. It was.
Really?
It was and that's not usually my cup of tea. They were amazing. They were the second to last band.
Okay.
And then they closed out the night with a really phenomenal called The Shift, a cover band. They played all sorts of hits, from music, from different genres, both country and rock. And the lead singer, amazing voice. The band, wow, they were. I need to go look them up online. I never asked where they came out of, but I'm going to guess they're from the coast or something, because they were super polished. And that was the closing, a Sunday night, a little lighter attended, of course, because it was Sunday night. But
Right.
if you didn't show up, you missed out. And if you showed up and went, okay, I don't like this band, I'm leaving, they weren't on for long. You just needed to wait till the next one and give them a chance. So
Right.
and even
So I wasn't there. So when they change out, do they change out the entire set?
well, the speaker, the main sound system stays. Some guys bring
Okay.
their own stacks in, but yeah, they're ripping down the drum set and stuff. And I was amazed at how fast the turnover. I mean, one band would leave, and within 15 minutes, usually the next one was starting. There were no legs going on whatsoever. And Sunday morning, I talked about this yesterday, and I got some pictures on the Facebook page. There was a band, I can't remember their name. I remembered it yesterday, but anyways, it was really early. It was like 11:30, a speed metal band. And the thing that most impressed me is they had a man of color as the lead singer, which you don't see a lot of black guys heading up rock bands. And he was so much, not really my cup of tea as far as music, but he was so fun to watch. It was a show. He was, I mean, he was an acrobat, and he was really into what he was doing. It was awesome. I mean, even if he didn't like that cup of tea, just, there's different forms of art. You might not like one that some people do. But and they were kind of like, wow, we should have this band later in the day, because it was like speed metal for breakfast. But some people might not have enjoyed it, even though it wasn't my cup of tea. I did, but I always look at music like that anyways. It's an immersive experience, and if it's something you're not used to, especially, it's a different form of art. I've been to an opera before, and I'm totally not an opera guy.
Right.
But I want that experience. I want to know what it's like, and I want to hear it and feel it and all that kind of stuff. And
you can't make a decision without having the experience.
I had no idea. I mean, piano music, not one of my big favorite things or whatever. But I got to sit down like 10 feet from Elton John while he played a baby grand piano, and I started crying like a baby.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't control it. It was so beautiful. It's like, wow. So fun. There we go. A couple events. We got one this weekend, one from last weekend. And I'll turn things over to Mike and the Blue Origin spacecraft.
Okay. Okay, I'm countdown here. I got 7 minutes left of my flight.
How's it feel being weightless, though? I bet you're enjoying
side.
that, right? You're enjoying being weightless?
That's right.
I would.
It makes my knee feel a lot better.
That's right. Okay. What do you got? Who are you starting with this morning?
Okay, let's start with the chamber. And I guess I want to start out with a big thank you. The virtual auction finished up on Friday morning at 10 o'clock. And we ended up raising just north of $15,000, which was fantastic. And I've gotten asked a couple of times, are we going to have another one? And they're working on that, because we only had 30 auction items out there, and we have a lot more than that. The decision was made by the auction committee to only do it in sections, so it wasn't so overwhelming. So there'll be another one, I think, coming up at some point in time. That's a little bit out of my wheelhouse, so I couldn't tell you that. But yeah, we're really pleased. Normally, in a non-pandemic environment, where I've been involved, the auction will raise around total, a live auction, around $35,000, maybe to $38,000. So we raised almost half of that just on the virtual side.
Nice.
So great job, and thank you to everybody that participated in that, and look forward to doing another one here at some point in the near future. City Sidewalks is going to happen on December 4th. I don't have a whole lot of information on that yet, since I haven't had a chance to talk to Sandy to get the update, but I'll have that next week. But that's also going to be Small Business Saturday. American Express sponsors one day a year that's really focused in on small business, and the chamber picked that up about, I don't know, 5 years ago. And so it ties into City Sidewalks, and then we ask a lot of businesses to kind of kick off their holiday season that one day and shop local. It really is designed that direction. So that we're already starting to work on that on the marketing committee, as far as putting some stuff together as that goes. The raffle is still going, the one that I famously won a couple of years ago.
Yes.
For my $100, I got over $3,000 in gift cards and chamber bucks. Last count, that basket is up over $2,000, and we still have another 30 days or so to go to put some more cash in it or gift cards. So you can stop by Acres, the Independent, Valley Drug, or the chamber office, and end up purchasing some raffle tickets.
Let me clear that up now. So you have, are you saying that you have $2,000 in raffle tickets in it, or you've raised $2,000?
We've raised $2,000.
Okay. And the total of raffle tickets is around, the total of gift cards in there is around 1,500. Is that correct?
No, I can't answer that. I don't know.
Okay.
No, the total gift cards and chamber bucks is a little north of 2,000.
Oh, nice. Okay. I want to have people clear on that. Okay.
Yeah. And the raffle tickets are $5 a piece. And like I say, it's and Banner Bank. We've got one other location you can stop by and pick them up too. But
that'd be an awesome thing to win, because because I'm a lazy Christmas shopper.
Right.
And I could just give everybody gift cards. That would be so awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'd hate to admit it, but Loretta and I do a lot of that, because, our kids don't live here, our grandkids don't live here, and so.
Shipping's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the Boo Fest. Boo Fest will be finalizing most of the stuff actually tomorrow morning. It's really turning into quite an event. Yesterday, Sandy said we now have 50 businesses signed up for it.
Ooh, wow.
And it'll be back-to-back booths, basically, from Quartzsite clear up to Mountain Market on Main Street. A couple other, we've got Acres and Westhoff and Safeway. Of course, they'll still have theirs in their locations. But the flyer is up and about town. There'll be a big ad in the paper today or tomorrow, Thursday. Well, I guess today if you get the paper early. And then next week there'll be a map, and it'll show all the locations where the businesses are going to be. The contests, we're going to have 3 different photo contests broken down by age. And Brandon will have some more information on that tomorrow on how that's going to work. We're looking at the poster. If you haven't seen it, have you seen the poster yet, Scott?
I have not.
Okay, I'll see if I can get you one. It's phenomenal. Jennifer Kerr did that, and I've never met Jennifer Kerr, but that is one talented lady.
Beautiful work, huh?
Beautiful work. In fact, Brandon's saying we're going to start having her do one of these going in the future, and they're going to become collector's items. So we've been working with Jessica Setti and the garden center there. I really don't want to let the cat out of the bag a whole lot, but if it works out the way it is, we're going to have like a mini light up the park inside the garden center. Where logistics, we're trying to make sure how that happens. But it's really designed to be a festive event on the 29th, which is a Friday, from 3:30 in the afternoon until 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the evening. And I've already gotten comments from a couple different people thanking the chamber, for having an event like this again, because it's been a couple of years since we've been able to do that.
Yes.
A big shout out to Napa, because we're going to have a lot of the booths in the parking lot right there. And there'll be a booth with the chamber, so we'll give out free masks and hand sanitizer and those types of things if you're inclined to need those items. It really it's really kind of building on itself, kind of how that goes. And then I have to give Brandon Hansen a tremendous amount of credit. He's like a little kid,
He is.
He's grabbing onto this baby, and I think I get an email every day saying, "What about this? What about that? Hey, this would be cool if we could do this." I'm thinking, and so then the question becomes logistically, can we make it happen? We decided in the marketing committee side that we're going to transfer a few more dollars into the account for Boo Fest so we could really make it a better event than it's been, especially in the last couple of years. And that, like I say, that'll all be finalized tomorrow morning. We have a call, and I think next week I'll have this whole litany of items to focus on.
Brandon Hansen is an amazing idea man. If I could implement every idea he's had for radio, it would be right. Even more amazing. It's time commitments, and he'll often contact me. We should do a show on this. And I'm like, oh yeah, but we never get around to it because we're both too busy. But if you've got something going on with your business and you need ideas, just invite Brandon over for coffee or something, because he is an amazing idea man.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
And he's really good at follow through, and I really appreciate the idea people. Because then logistically, you just figure out how to get it done. And frankly, in Chihuahua, with the volunteer culture, a lot of these things can get done. Because they don't have to necessarily go through the normal channels, if that makes sense. It's going to be a big deal. If you're not going to be participating in Boo Fest, you're going to miss out, in my opinion, the event of the year put on by the chamber.
See, now Sandy called me and asked me if I was going to do it. And I said, I've asked a few people to hand out candy and everybody was busy. And I said, it's miserable to stand out there in the cold for me with my arthritis. Even with gloves on, it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
But so we came up with a way I could participate. And I've sent her a link, and she's going to try to load up the downtown speakers with KCHW on that afternoon, and then I'm going to play all Halloween sound effects and music over the town.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yes, I'm excited. And we've got our own speaker here I can match up, so yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Right. No, we're looking forward to it. Even the Rusty Putter, we're really not downtown, but Sean said, hey, I want to participate, so we talked to the guys at Quartzsite, and we're going to have a booth down at Quartzsite.
Okay.
And so that's really that's what we're getting. Even these outside businesses that really aren't in the downtown core, but are in the Chihuahua economy, are saying, hey, raising their hand saying, me too.
Family fun event.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, it will be. Okay, so that's pretty much it at the chamber side. The creative district, we had our call last Friday. At a minimum, we're going to end up with a $15,000 capital grant and also a $2,000 operations grant. Both those have to be 50% matched. We just don't know what the ground rules are yet. We'll get those by the end of the month, around the 1st of November. So what we'll be doing is more aggressively now going out to the public and saying, what would you like to see? The capital projects, by definition, have to be what I call tangible. Like the murals, the wayfinding signs, the kiosks, stuff like that. And pretty much we're open to anything. One of the things that came out of the Creative District call that I'm definitely going to pursue or recommend we pursue is the implementation of private-public partnerships and utilizing the Creative District to put those into play. And that opens up a whole different window of opportunity from, personal donations when people want to focus in on, say, a statue of Scott in the park, stuff like that.
Can you make it really tall?
We'll make it tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
or put it on a base or something, because nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I was thinking of something. I have a cousin that's, I guess, height challenged.
That's a nice way to put it.
Oh, and he used to always tell me I'm small in stature. I'm small in stature, but a giant of a man.
Oh, there you go. I usually get the one. You sound taller on the radio. That's a good.
Here,
thing.
let me puff my hair up a little bit. Let me get my afro back.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty soon you'll have platform shoes and an afro.
There you go. Maybe I'll reach 5'6".
So on the creative districts, they added 3 more this year, so there's now 11 of them statewide, and so they're really gaining some traction. And then in the last week, I actually got called by a journalism major, I assume, anyway, out of WSU, and they interviewed me for an article they're doing down out of WSU. Actually got called from a guy out of Vashon Island. They're looking at doing a creative district, but they saw my name in the article from the Inlander, and just said, okay, we're going to call and see what that does. And I guess, I use this term a lot. I think what's happening to Chewelah is it's going from a what is a Chewelah to a where is Chewelah mentality, because that's really the gist of these calls when people call me. But yeah, I mean, we actually had a call with Brad Schaefer yesterday and Lynn the day before, because we have an executive committee call this afternoon. And we've been kind of in this, I won't say lull, but kind of background, trying to get some pieces fixed and stuff like that. And now we're starting to build some energy around it going forward now too. So that's it on the creative district side. You go down to the golf course. First golf course closed officially for the year on Sunday. But the Rusty Putter is open on weekends now, Friday and Saturday from 8 in the morning till 7 in the evening. And then Sundays from 8 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Sean decided on Friday and Saturday, his dinner specials will be on all 3 days will be some kind of a steak special, some kind of an Italian special, and some kind of a seafood special. So it'll be available both days, whereas during normal season, we only allow those on certain days.
All right. Will you be sure and send me an email with that in it too?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Right.
Because we need, that's right, we need to change the radio underwriting spot.
And it was funny because it has said August hours at the end of it, and I hadn't got anything from you, so I hacked it up yesterday and just ad-libbed. So if you don't like your ad, sorry. But it just said you're open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Visit the website. There's a menu and details.
Right. Well, and they also have redone the menu because in the wintertime, we just can't get certain stuff because we can't keep it, because we're only open 3 days a week. So the menu's been changed up a little bit for the winter. And then also the board last week, or the marketing committee at the golf course went ahead and authorized winter sports this year again. So once we get enough snow on the ground, we'll be able to offer sledding, snowshoeing, and cross-country skiing. It's all free. The only thing we'll ask people to do is park in the clubhouse parking lot. It's the only one that's going to be plowing. And and please check in at the Rusty Putter. That's where you pick up your maps and we kind of get a feel of who's on the golf course and things like that. And it'll be all marked. I mean, we actually have one of the members up here that volunteered this year to go out with the grounds, Ron May, the grounds foreman. And instead of kind of us guessing where it should go, this guy's an avid cross-country skier, and he's actually going to lay it out the way it should be laid out. How's that sound?
That's cool.
So, yeah, but only available on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As far as that goes. So, yeah, that's it. That's what as far as I got. There's, as normal, there's a lot of stuff going on.
And I just had the one from the Little Shop of Horrors. So no other nonprofits have checked in with any news updates. But always feel free, if you're part of a nonprofit, you have an event coming up. We really cover it pretty well on Wednesdays. So if you have something you'd like to add to it, you can always go to kchw.org, go to the contact page, and there's a form you can fill out to send us a public service announcement. We'll talk about what you're doing, and you can even attach your poster right there. So if you got a poster for the event, and that way I get to see it, I can print it out, I can put it in the window, all that fun stuff. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mike Brentz, live from the Blue Origin spacecraft.
And I'm coming in for a landing now. I see Lake Roosevelt. Looks like a nice landing spot.
All right. Can you do a belly landing, Mike?
I could, but I don't want to commit it to Sony.
All right, we got a few minutes to kill before we go to break, and we always end up with trivia, but we're a little early, so I have a couple stories, and I thought this one was interesting. Nicole Kidman, this is from Entertainment News, is ready to show the world her interpretation of the iconic Lucille Ball. I didn't know this was even coming our way, did you?
No.
It's the trailer for the film Being the Ricardos. It's just released, in which Kidman plays the fan favorite comedian. Sneak peeks open up with the Big Little Lies actress doing a voiceover, speaking about how she gets to work on her sitcom, I Love Lucy. She goes on to mention her then husband, Desi Arnaz, who was played by Oscar winner Javier Bardem. In the trailer, she's heard saying, "I get paid a fortune to do exactly what I love doing. I work side by side with my husband, who is genuinely impressed by me." And I like that, and you should be impressed by your wife. And all I have to do is kill for 36 weeks in a row, and then do it again next year. I don't know what that means. Speaking with Variety, Kidman said the strange thing about Lucille Ball is that everyone thinks we're remaking the I Love Lucy show, and it's not that. It's about Lucy and Desi and their relationship and marriage. She says it's actually a very deep movie. Being the Ricardos, and I imagine it is if you're kind of doing their life story, right?
Right.
Yeah. Being the Ricardos also stars Nina Rianda, Aaliyah Shawkat, Tony Hale, Clark Gregg, and Oscar winner J.K. Simmons. It's set to hit theaters on December 10th and will be available to stream on Amazon Prime Video starting on December 21st. Also for families, Muppets Christmas Special for families in Scott. Well, spooky season isn't quite over yet. Christmas is already being teased across entertainment platforms, and this year we'll have a new Muppet special. Let's see. I think we're ready for you and a little bit of trivia this morning. All right.
Okay. Well, we'll try. We'll see if we can do better than last week.
Yeah. If I remember right, it was pretty dismal, wasn't it?
It was pretty dismal. Yeah.
All right. We're hoping you can do better.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right. You don't have to be that fast with the answers, but I do want some answers, Mike. All right.
Okay.
I've got 3 trivia questions, a phobia game, and a double letter game. All right. You're in trouble today. Wow.
I am.
All right. Average person buys 22 of these each year. Oh, man. This would be a compilation of these items, I guess. Yeah.
22 of these a year?
Yes.
Boy, that's pretty broad-based.
You have them in your hands a lot of times. Throughout
pens?
the day. No.
22 of these a year, and you have them in your hands throughout the day.
Yeah.
Gloves?
No, you die without it.
You die without them?
Yeah, you die without it eventually.
Oh, okay. You buy them though, huh?
Yeah. You can get it. You could get it at home for free, but a lot of people buy them.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't like the way they measured this. They said 22 of these each year. But actually, if you divided them up individually, it would be more like around 100 that you went through in a year. Really creates havoc with the environment.
Oh, plastic bags?
No, we're looking for gallons of bottled water. So average person goes through 22 gallons of bottled water. So I thought that was a hard way to address that question by calling the bottled water in gallons. But
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So who buys bottled water by the gallon?
Well, I guess if you got a pack of 4, you probably got a gallon. But that's how they were measuring it, because bottled waters comes in different sizes. So they're saying, on average, a person goes through 22 gallons of bottled water per year.
Oh, okay.
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 All right. Did I simple it up enough for you?
Yeah. You should have said 22 gallons of this a year, not 22 of these.
And that's the way they worded it, though, and that's the way I read it. So, okay. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Well, I'm not
Mike, I'm sorry.
That one was way too hard.
I know.
That was like a 5,000-piece crossword puzzle.
All right, I've got one that's much easier. Top speed of one of these is 11 feet per minute.
11 feet per minute?
11 feet per minute.
That's pretty slow.
And that's the speed that it drops at.
The raindrop?
Take it a step further.
Snowflake?
There you go, snowflake. All right, 5% of us say that this is the most stressful day of the year.
Christmas.
No, it's going to be so hard to guess. It's a specific day that's different for everyone.
Oh, your birthday.
How could that be stressful?
I don't know. It's never been stressful for me.
Huh.
I mean, at a certain age, you don't even know what it is.
Unless you have a phobia of gifts.
Yeah, that could be. Huh.
All right, speaking of phobias, I'm going to name a phobia, and you tell me what it is.
Okay.
Is aquaphobia the fear of crowds or the fear of ostriches?
Aqua, like A-Q-U-A?
Ochlo, O-C-H-L-O, phobia.
Fear of crowds.
Fear of crowds. Logophobia, fear of corporate logos, fear of words.
Fear of words.
Ponophobia, the fear of ponies or the fear of pain?
Pain.
I think pony sounds better, though. What are you scared of? I'm scared of ponies. All right. Looking at this one is tennophobia, the fear of tapeworms or the fear of tennis?
Tennophobia, like T-E-N?
T-E-N-I-O, phobia.
Oh, okay. Tapeworms.
Yes. What a strange phobia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why do I know all these?
I don't know. You are one paranoid man. All right. Is coimetropophobia, and this is C-O-I-M-E-T-R-O, right? If I've even said that even close. Coimetropophobia, the fear of clowns or the fear of cemeteries?
I'm going to say cemeteries.
Yeah, I wish it was clowns, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you did good. You got all those right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no idea why.
Wow. All right. A little more enthusiasm.
Maybe I just have this theory that it's got to be opposite of what I think.
There you go. That's whatever I choose to do the opposite, and I'll be safe.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, here's a little motivation for you.
You can do it!
All right. I ask the question, and the answer will be 2 words, with each of the 2 words beginning with the same letters. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So if I say Walt Disney's biggest star, you say Mickey Mouse. All
okay.
Right. All right. Double words. Comic strip character who's in the Army. This is going to be for
Bailey.
more. There you go. What was his first name? It's got to be a B word. It's a B word.
I can't remember his
It's
first
a bug.
name.
It's a bug. Oh,
Beetle Bailey.
there you go. You worked it out. Isn't it funny how sometimes when it's something like that from your past, you can eventually blow off the cobwebs and figure out what it was? It just,
right, exactly.
I think,
Bailey came to my mind immediately, but I couldn't remember the other one.
And it's funny how slow our brains dig that stuff out of the file cabinet sometimes.
Especially if your file cabinet's a little rusty.
Oh, yeah. Or your door's bent like mine.
That's right.
Yeah,
or somebody locked it and threw away the key.
You're never going to know what happened. All right. It's a type of music also known as rap.
It's double-lettered.
Yeah.
Also known as hip-hop.
Yes. My next hint was going to be, someday you may break one.
Or you could say, the way you're walking nowadays.
My favorite one, my buddy his mom had fallen and broken her hip and then recovered pretty well. And she was picking on him about something. And he said, Mom, I will break your other hip. Or knock you down and break your other hip. All right. I don't know why that came to mind. His last name is Thornton.
Yeah, well, we all have mom stories, right?
Yep. All right, next one. His last name is Thornton. I'm looking for double letters for the rest of the name. Billy Bob. Billy Bob Thornton to me is like an episode of the Trailer Park Boys. Is once I see him, I feel like I need a bath.
Yeah, he just look. You're right.
I got this kind of heavy, creepy vibe going on. All right. It's like actors that you'd want to meet or have a meal with. He is not one.
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
Although you can appreciate his acting. I mean, he is a good actor.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a sound your phone makes when someone calls. Your old phone.
Ring, ring.
One ring-a-dingy, two ring-a-dingy. Name of the company that lets you vacation on their boats.
Lets you name a company?
Yes. Lets you vacation on their boats.
Carnival Cruises.
There you go. Wow, you did quite well again. Look at that. Look at that. Another round of applause for Mike Bentz, who has now crash landed in the Blue Origin spacecraft.
I'm waiting for the media to come by so I can cry.
All right. Guess the word that's missing from the headline. We'll see if you were listening yesterday. Woman survives operation to remove blank from her head. Your choices are TV remote, metal spatula, or an axe.
Axe.
It was an axe. Craziest injury you ever endured? It took 4 hours for doctors in India to remove an axe lodged in the woman's skull last week. The victim was struck by an unknown assailant. She arrived at the hospital with the blade of an axe measuring 3 inches long wedged inside of her head, which could not be removed until the patient was on the operating table. 10 doctors took part in saving her life. Wow.
Well, that'd be a hell of a headache.
Oh, man. The fact that you could have a 3-inch axe in your head and still walk around, go to the hospital on your own recognizance.
Yeah, well, it makes me feel pretty sheepish, crying about my knee.
Yeah, you could have an axe in your head.
Right.
All right, we are going to break, playing some news, thanking our sponsor, all that kind of fun stuff. And we hope you will come back for part 2. It's Scott and Mike live on the radio, KCHW 102.7.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW. Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton.
It's 8:12.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock tires, provide collision repairs including glass, and they have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414.
This is KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for October the 20th, 2021. I'm Mike Clifford. Backers say that a new law in Montana was designed to cut down on fraud, but could instead make it more difficult for some folks in the state to vote.
During the 2021 session, lawmakers passed a measure that prohibits the practice of collecting and delivering voters' sealed absentee ballots for monetary benefit. But Alex Raitt, legal director of the ACLU of Montana, says the law's ambiguous language could have a number of effects. For instance, on someone living in a retirement home who has a staff member deliver their ballot to the mail.
Vulnerable communities, such as seniors or people living in assisted living who need the assistance of others, are going to be particularly impacted by these types of voting restrictions.
A similar Montana law was struck down as unconstitutional in 2020. The new law is part of a wave of other Republican-sponsored bills in Montana and other states that aim to secure elections. This is Eric Tegedoff reporting.
The ACLU of Montana aims to have an injunction in place by next year to prevent the ballot collection ban from going into effect before the 2022 elections. Our colleagues at NPR report the House committee investigating the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol on Tuesday evening unanimously approved a criminal contempt report against Steve Bannon, an ally of former President Trump, for defying a subpoena from the panel. NPR notes the vote sends the measure to the full House. If the chamber approves it, the referral would then be sent on to federal law enforcement for potential charges and actions. And a proposed merger between two hospital systems in upstate New York has some residents and healthcare advocates concerned about the potential loss of certain types of medical care.
Albany's St. Peter's Health Partners and Ellis Medicine in Schenectady first announced their intent to merge a year ago. Ellis Medicine posted a $33 million loss last year. Because St. Peter's is owned by Catholic System Trinity Health and is governed by certain ethical and religious directives, the merger could affect care options for people facing terminal illnesses. That worries Kim Callanan of Compassion and Choices, a group that advocates for medical aid in dying.
The fundamental principle is that they should preserve life at all costs. For some people, this may not be an issue at all. It may be in line with their values and priorities. But we know a large portion of people do not want to suffer at the end of life and want to have the full breadth of options that are available.
Callanan says the merger could limit choices for families of people in the final stages of dementia or on ventilators. In a statement, the St. Peter's Health Partners system said it helps countless patients and families navigate end-of-life decisions, but did not specifically address medical aid in dying. I'm Emily Scott.
A new study links premature deaths in adulthood with people who experience abuse as children. South Dakota groups say it reinforces the need for prevention work.
Researchers in England say adults who were sexually abused by age 16 are more than twice as likely to die in middle age. In cases of physical abuse, the risk is 1.7 times higher. Tiffany Petro with South Dakota's Children's Home Child Advocacy Center says the findings align with past research. She adds the state is doing more to raise awareness about the long-term effects of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs.
The adverse childhood experiences curriculum is designed so that it can be consumable by somebody with a lot of letters behind their name or no letters behind their name.
She says groups spreading the message are reaching many stakeholders, including schools and law enforcement. I'm Mike Moen.
And 20 state attorneys general, including Aaron Ford from Nevada, are slamming proposed new federal banking guidelines for not addressing what are known as rent-a-bank schemes.
State attorneys general are asking federal regulators for a crackdown on non-bank lenders that partner with real banks to make loans that are sold to the non-bank partner. By using the bank's name on paperwork, the non-bank can claim the loan should not be subject to state regulations, including interest rate caps. Rebecca Bornay with the Center for Responsible Lending says the federal guidance should explicitly condemn rent-a-bank arrangements.
Because the guidance is essentially silent on it. It definitely raises the question of, is it going to be read as permission for more banks to engage in these rent-a-bank schemes?
I'm Suzanne Potter.
Finally, our Lily Bolke tells us the first of 5 public hearings on the latest drafts of Michigan's new voting district maps takes place today in Detroit.
The final maps will be used for the next decade of elections. It's the first cycle with the state's new Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission, made up of an equal number of Democrats and Republicans, 4 and 4, plus 5 independents. Quentin Turner with Common Cause Michigan says having a citizen-led, on-the-ground process is a big change from previous years when whichever party in control in Lansing was able to shape the new maps.
We have an independent commission led by everyday Michiganders who are taking in all this information, learning about the process, and then drawing lines not based off their political interests, but based off what Michigan voters and their input has informed them.
Other hearings planned for Thursday in Lansing and Friday in Grand Rapids. This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported, heard on radio stations big and small. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
heard that. Now I know he's there at least. Good morning, number 2. We are looking at 819. Scott and Mike Bentz up top at the Chihuahua Golf and Country Club, broadcasting live with us this morning. All right, Mike. One thing I guess in our lowdown for the nonprofits, I should have spoke about the radio station. I mentioned it yesterday, what I had posted on Facebook late last week. But I have a retirement plan and a goal to retire by March, and the hunt is on for a station manager. Online on Facebook, if you go to our Facebook page, KCHW Radio, there's some job descriptions of things you can volunteer to do. We've divided them up into several areas that we hope would make it easier. You know, some of them are minimal, like 5 hours a month. Some of them, you could go for months without having to do something, like the engineer one. Others, like the station manager, probably can require a time commitment of up to 20 hours a week. So a lot of things, because of technology, you're able to do via computer, even remotely. But it does require people with computer skills for all these positions, medium or above. If you don't understand the words copy and paste, it probably won't work out. Just saying. And very excited to announce that I'm relatively sure I've got a bookkeeper, and I'm thrilled about the people that have responded so far, and we will be talking to them. But if you have any interest, one thing I haven't got a call on yet is the engineering, and that could be kind of scary. Like, we need somebody when I'm gone that would drive up to the tower. Now, you don't have to be a broadcast engineer, because I wasn't. Can you wire a home stereo? A complicated home stereo? Well, you could do this. Do you have a rusty 4-wheel drive pickup? You could drive up a really fun 2-track mountain road where it takes 20 minutes to go 2 miles. That's the biggest requirement. Other than that, because I'm not dead yet, you could take a smartphone with you and show me what lights are blinking, through FaceTime, and I could say, well, press this and press this, or even when it gets too complicated, Scott has to call for help. So, right. You don't climb the tower. That's not legal. Certified climbers climb the tower. So there's not a lot of, even if anything physical, you might have to, you got to take some equipment apart and clean it a couple times a year. You go up there and you clean it and get all the bugs out and spray it down so bugs can't get in there, things like that. It's relatively, that engineering can sound scary, relatively easy. Can you run lines between a computer? Can you run a landline? That kind of stuff. Can you wire up a new computer monitor? Those kind of things. If you have that, and those kind of things, maybe 1 month you did put in 10 hours, but that'd probably be kind of rare. So there's things like that you could do to help out the station. Relatively easy. Look at the job descriptions on Facebook, and if you're interested, give us a call, 509-935-6627. I think it's important to mention it on the radio because not everybody does Facebook.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right.
So do you have the ability to post that anywhere else?
Yeah, I guess, I could put it on our actual website, but actually taking it offline will be kind of difficult. Brandon Hansen, I believe, there'll be he did a story on me that'll be coming out in the Independent this week. And what's going on at the station. I will not disappear entirely, but due to health problems that have been compounding for years, it is time for me to take a step back and take care of myself. What's really exciting about this is I was worried when I posted it. I teared up because, this is my baby. And right. But I was so happy that the nice comments people have given me and the enthusiasm that people have shown to keep it here and keep it local. Because that is one of the other things is let's say I couldn't find anybody that wanted to pick up some of these volunteer positions. It might be a position where the station could have had to been sold. But it looks like there's enough people interested in the community that we can keep it homegrown. And I think that's much better than even it being taken over by a corporate nonprofit broadcast group or something like that. It would change drastically. We'd lose a lot of the localism, and so I'm very excited at the possibilities for the future, and hoping that savvy people step up and take it to the next level. Because, looking back over the last 10 years, that's probably been my biggest mistake is taking too much control because I knew how to do it instead of bringing in people and showing that we know how to do it. And my goal is to have a little team and where everybody kind of knows what everybody else is doing, so that if somebody would, heaven forbid, pass away, get sick, have to move, that this nation's not left hanging, that there's still a group of people that can keep it going and know how it works. So
yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I think one of the biggest hurdles that almost any small business has is succession planning of any kind. And by definition, you're the type of person that will just go do it because it's more efficient for you to do it than to train somebody to do it. And that's, I mean, I just spent 30 years of my life basically saying, well, why spend the time to do this when I can just get it done? It'll get done in half the time. It'll be done right the first time instead, that type of thing. And unfortunately, that's not the way you create longevity in business. So.
No, and the board of directors asked me, at one point, they said, so if you die, what do we do? And I said, well, wait about 2 weeks and then turn it off, because it'll run for about 2 weeks by itself.
Well, and I think it's, as hard as it is to announce it, and I can fully empathize with what you're going through emotionally, by doing it as early as you did, gives it a running chance of continuing the way you want it to continue.
I've got time to train people.
You got time to train people. Yeah. So the great unknown now is the people.
Yes.
And there, I would just say the same thing you just said. It's a great opportunity for retirees. It's a great opportunity people who want to get into the business. It's no different than me going on the radio. When I tell people I'm going to be on the radio, it's like fear of death,
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. Yeah, exactly.
Once you get past the willingness to put yourself out there, it's not hard at all. And as you know, when we've had guests in the studio, and it's been a lot lighter since COVID, but they're nervous when they sit down, but especially when you're in a group, within a few minutes they forget they're in front of a microphone because we're visiting.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's your skill set, by the way. And that's what I keep telling people is God will make you feel very, very comfortable. And then it becomes a conversation. It doesn't become a presentation. And that's really, there's a tremendous amount of value that we're going to steal from you before you leave.
Yay. Well, I want to keep it going on. You kind of say that legacy thing, and I'll still be there. On a nonprofit board, one board member can live out of the area. With the FCC rules. So I could still be on the board. I can be available for consulting, FaceTiming. I'd still like to do a show. People have been, well, will you still at least do the morning show? I don't know. I'm moving to the East Coast. So I could start my morning show at 10, which kind of sounds cool.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, well, man, the rest of us, poor souls have to get out of bed.
But I'll be able to sleep in.
You'll be able to sleep in.
You know what I'm saying in the back of my head when I can finally let some of this stress go and things that are always over my head? Here's the sound effect.
My dear guests, I am Mr. Rourke, your host. Welcome to Fantasy Island.
That's where I'm going. All right.
Except in the future when we'll say, that whole thing will be D. Scott.
And I did do some research, historical 10-year average for plane tickets between where I'm moving and Spokane's only $300 to $400. So if there's some kind of crisis, I could always fly back, and I've got friends and family here and stuff. So I'll probably it won't be the last time you'll see me. All right, let's move on. It's our Wednesday local birthdays. We have Amy Kirsch, Zachary Caddy, Shane Cliffner, and thank you for your service, Shane. Tyler Van Doren and Chad Chalmers, all having birthdays today. All right. How about some celebrity birthdays from Mike Betts?
Oh, we got a lot of them I don't know.
Okay.
You're going to have to help me.
I might not know them either. I'm getting old, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the first one on the list is Melanie Mayron.
All right. 30-something.
Yeah,
that
30-something.
That was a TV show.
Yeah, yeah. Did you cheat or did you know?
No,
that?
I'm cheating totally.
Oh, okay. She's
Okay.
69.
All right.
All right. The director, Danny Boyle, is 65, and I've seen Slumdog Millionaire. I wasn't impressed, but I've actually seen that.
All right.
I have no idea what Trainspotting is.
That was a movie as well. I think it was about drug addiction.
Okay. All right. And this one, I've seen this name a lot, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Viggo?
Yes.
Viggo Mortensen is 63.
All right. From, wasn't he Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and this person, I don't know.
Me either. I don't know if I want to.
Vice President Kamala Harris is 57.
And she's also the number one reason why they won't impeach Biden. If you think those people that want to, they're putting up the signs that say impeach Biden, are you thinking that through? Are you?
Yeah.
Because if you impeach him, she's next. And let's say you could impeach her. Well, then who's next? Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. Well, when I first saw that name, you almost wanted at the end of it said, who?
Who? So I'm just saying.
Pretty incognito.
I'm just saying, impeaching Biden is a no-win scenario.
That's right. Yeah. There's no way to go.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, and then rapper Snoop Dogg.
You know who he is. You know. Yeah.
I know who he is.
Okay.
Yeah. He hawks Corona all the time on TV.
Does he? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always on the beach with a Corona. Okay, and then actor-comedian Danny Fogler is 45. This one you probably know because of The Walking Dead.
I don't know which one he is, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, too much makeup, huh?
Okay, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right, and this one is, how come I get the Hio Sante?
Good luck with that.
Okay, the Nasty Brute contestant in Squid Game, which is 44.
Okay, I don't know that
either. Did
either.
you read the article? Netflix, I guess, owns Squid Game.
Yes.
They're going to make 900. They valued that game at $900 million.
Wow. And that's what they paid to broadcast it? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's a big number.
That is. Okay, that's huge.
One of my favorite actors, John Krasinski, is 42. My mind just went blank. That's what's happening to go get old Jack Reacher. He's the Jack Reacher guy. Okay. Jennifer Nicole Freeman is 36. And model Candace Swanepoel is 33.
Oh, you said that like you knew her.
I kind of like that spelling. So, when you can do something like Swanepoel, doesn't that sound
fun?
Sophisticated,
it does.
Smooth. Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
All right, it happened today. We call it history. Return of the King, the last part of the Lord of the Rings, was published on this day in 1955. If we jump to 68, former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy married Greek shipping tycoon Aristotle Onassis. 1977, plane carrying Leonard Skinner crashed in Mississippi, killing lead singer Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist Steve Gaines, along with backup singer Cassie Gaines, and the road manager, pilot, and co-pilot. Several songs have been written about that.
Right.
1979, John F. Kennedy Library opened in Boston, Massachusetts. 92, the first World Series game to be played outside the United States. The host, Toronto Blue Jays, beat the Atlanta Braves 3-2. In 2004, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Ivan Chip Frederick pleaded guilty to abusing Iraqi detainees at Abu Ghraib prison. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison himself. I wonder if it was the same prison. That'd be ironic and probably just. I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Let's see. 2006, British woman who claimed to have been dumped by her cheating husband dumped his entire wardrobe for sale on eBay. The furious mother of two said she would take cash or swap items for a decent single man. Clothes came from her husband's closet, but she advised buyers that some items might be slightly damp due to them being chucked out the window. Let's see. Pixar animated film Coco, 2017. The first 9-figure budget film with an all-Latino cast premiered at the Morelia Film Festival in Mexico. And 2020, Argentina became the 5th country in the world to record over 1 million confirmed COVID-19 cases.
See, but I like special events.
Yes.
There are very few of those dates that really jump out at me.
Mm-hmm.
But special events, the very first one.
It's all about you?
It's all about me.
Okay.
Chicken and waffles day.
Do people really eat those together?
I've never had chicken and waffles, but I've had fried chicken and waffles.
Probably the same thing.
Same thing.
All right.
And it's kind of one of those. I had them once where they were just terrible, and then I had them another place, and they were fantastic.
All right. And that is something you would eat for breakfast?
That's something you'd eat for breakfast, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It's really, really, the first time I had them was down in Las Vegas, and they're really popular down there. Maybe it's because you don't go to bed all night, so you got to have dinner and breakfast at the same time.
I guess. It sounds really rough on your stomach after a night of drinking.
It does, actually. Okay. So, and the next one, this is Facebook Day.
Oh.
Otherwise known as Information and Misinformation Overload Day.
Yeah. I can't tell what's real anymore.
That's right. Yeah, I read an article the other day. We need to develop the real police.
Well, Snopes, I think Snopes kind of tries to do that, but sometimes they even miss and they have to do a retraction. Oh, we weren't right about that.
Okay, next is International Chef's Day.
All right. I've been practicing, but I'm not ready.
Okay. All right. And this one is International Kissing Day.
I've been practicing and I am ready.
You are ready. Okay. What have you been practicing with?
The mirror.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. And the next one I'm not a big fan of, but a lot of people are. Brandied Fruit Day.
Brandied Fruit Day.
Yeah.
That's a way to get your vitamin C and a buzz. All right, number of the day is 100 million, and this is the tons of plastic sacks and bags imported in the U.S. in 2020. Canada imported about, 202,000 tons. Wow, right. But we did 100 million tons. Wow. It's going to decrease this year.
How are you dealing with the ban on plastic bags?
I keep forgetting to take a bag to the store. I've remembered twice now. So far this month. But I've been lucky that I've been able to dig under the seats and find old plastic bags. When I get to the store and go, oh, I forgot my bag. I've been able to find, because I never clean the car.
Right.
Unless I'm going to sell it, I never clean it.
I don't worry about it. I got enough plastic bags to last me for a year.
Yeah. We're all going to be wondering what we're going to line the bathroom wastebasket with now. We single guys are. I am. I'm perplexed. What do I put in the bathroom wastebasket now?
Well, Loretta does that in our waste packs.
So does it have to be
plastic?
plastic?
Have to be a single guy.
Do I have to wash it out each time? I just thought maybe some ladies that keep a nice house wouldn't want a Safeway bag in the trash can in the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm
Are
okay
you
with
implying that we don't keep a nice house?
I don't know. Now I'm wondering.
You know what I'm going to miss about the plastic sack bags?
What?
It's what we use to pick up dog poop.
Oh yeah. Wow. So what have you decided what you're going to use now? Because a napkin might or might not work depending on consistency.
That's right. Exactly. It's good. We're going to have to get creative.
It could be a really, really bad idea.
Or you can buy those roll-up plastic bags.
Yeah, but you're still using, and that's what I was wondering. If they're really going to be effective with this, don't we have to stop using garbage bags?
Yeah. Except a lot of the garbage bags are becoming environmental friendly. They're made out of material where it disintegrates a lot faster.
What we really need to do is a lot of places, even though marijuana has become legal, they've kept hemp illegal because of the danger to the wood products industry, the danger even to the oil industry. We could be making all of our Tupperware and all of our plastic bags out of the oil from hemp and have it be totally biodegradable. We are so stupid.
Welcome to the world of lobbyists.
Yes, and here's what I have to say about lobbyists.
Now, shrunken heads for all occasions. Collect them, swap them, give them to your witch doctor friends.
Shrunken heads. Mm-hmm. I have some more.
So when you played that, I had this vision of Nancy Pelosi on her mantle. She has all these shrunken heads.
Oh, evil witch doctor.
That's right.
All right, downloaded this morning. This is an evil mother and how she gets even with the rest of the family when they're on her nerves.
You know, sometimes when my family's on my nerves, I will do all of their laundry, but then I'll fold their socks when they're still inside out. I will steal 20 seconds of your morning without even batting an eye.
And
if you want to steal more time, mismatch the socks.
That's right. And then this guy has figured out how to, you just got to picture it since we don't have the video to go with it. This guy has pictured how to play a trumpet and shoot a gun at the same time. You know what I think it needs?
What?
A bigger gun. That's
a little bit of Queen playing there.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're bored, I guess, and you got too many bullets.
So I got a friend of mine that loves to target shoot. So what I need to do is get the soundtrack to "We Are the Champions."
Ooh,
and then at the end of each one of the verses or the lyrics, have him match the shooting of his pistol or his AR-15 to the beat behind the lyric.
I like it for some strange reason. All right, moving on to news and nuggets. Today's news stories from the lighter side. I'm going to start off here in Dallas. Americans have gone all in on Halloween this year because we're really bored. We will spend $10 billion on Halloween this year. Wow.
Okay, so where are you at?
On news and nuggets. All right. Yes, just go to the top, click on the button.
Yeah, no, I see that.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
I skipped the first couple.
You skipped the first couple.
Because
yeah,
I just played it, right?
Yeah, but I got a little tiny screen. You got these big monster screens.
I know, it's nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Buy a new laptop with a big screen.
Okay.
Okay. Or are you on a computer? What are you on? You're on a laptop, aren't you?
I'm on a laptop.
Well, you can add screens onto your laptop.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
All right. Americans have gone all in on Halloween. Let's see. One guy in Texas, he's gone all the way even harder. Steve Novak, resident of Dallas, kept getting the cops called on him last year to his gory Halloween decorations. Well, gory is an understatement. He had fake dead bodies all over his yard and house, covered with fake blood, some chopped up into pieces, and some with their heads completely decapitated. But Steve is not backing down this year. He's upped his game even further. According to an interview Novak did with the Dallas Observer, there are plenty of new gimmicks for this year, including a wood chipper with guts. Oddly,
Visions of Fargo.
Yes. Oddly enough, he claims this has been a positive experience for the locals. This year has been rough for a lot of people. I think we can agree that this perfect project is functioning as a pressure release valve. It's been a tremendous amount of work and money, but it's worth it because people love it so much. Okay. People get as tickled looking at my massacre as they do it looking at puppies.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Okay,
will you take the next story and give me some tips that will make me look more attractive?
That's right. I was thinking about you when I saw this story.
Everybody will.
Yeah. Okay. So Scott.
Yes.
Do you want to look attractive?
I do.
It's the simple things. In a survey, respondents of the added. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to make up my own words.
Okay.
Okay. In a survey, the top simple way to be attractive is to wear clothing that fits.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What if it fits? What if it fits too well?
Okay. One person said you don't need name brands or flashy clothes. a solid colored t-shirt and jeans fit properly, and we'll get you somewhere. Yeah, see, I think that's, I agree with that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, now we just need to get you, some stuff that fits properly.
I wear baggy clothes because I'm fat.
Okay, but there are some other top suggestions.
Okay.
Okay, work on your posture. Yeah, see? Okay, yeah. I had somebody tell me a long time ago, a gal told me that, when you work on your posture, it's pretty easy. Just focus in on your boobs, your belt, and your butt.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, but take care of those fingernails.
Okay.
Brush and floss twice a day.
Oh, man, I hate that.
Yeah. Okay. Hold eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
When I interviewed people, that was one of my primary things I looked at was how do we maintain eye contact? Okay.
Awkward.
Yeah. Always remain calm and confident. It's that old duck thing, on the lake, the ducks on the surface, but they're paddling like mad underneath. Okay. And refer people to their name.
By their name.
Okay.
Now when you forget names a lot, though, that can be really tough. And all those tips they have to remember someone's name, like say it 3 times, it just doesn't work for me. What's your name?
Believe me, especially if you see a lot of people and you don't see them often, you come up with these techniques on how do I figure out their name? So,
yes.
But anyway, so I'll let you talk about the Queen because she was in the news today because her doctor told her she had to quit drinking.
Oh, no. Queen Elizabeth II is Britain's longest-lived and longest-reigning monarch. But don't call her an oldie. 95-year-old has politely declined the honor of being named Oldie of the Year by a British magazine. Says she does not meet the relevant criteria. The Oldie magazine on Tuesday published the Queen's response to its suggestion that she follow in the footsteps of former recipients, including former Prime Minister John Major, actress Olivia de Havilland, and artist David Hockney. Letter from her assistant private secretary read, Her Majesty believes you are as old as you feel. As such, the Queen does not believe she meets the relevant criteria to be able to accept and hopes you will find a more worthy recipient. The Oldie of the Year prize honors people of advanced age who have made a special contribution to public life. Queen's husband, Prince Philip, who died in April, received the accolade in 2011 when he was 90. After the Queen declined, this year's Oldie of the Year went to a movie royalty instead, French-American actress and dancer Leslie Caron, age 90. I got in so much trouble this spring visiting my mom because I kept saying things like, well, when you're 90, and she would get so mad. And she goes, I am not 90 until October. And I'm like, Mom, come on, close enough.
Well, one of my famous things is Loretta's mom's 91. She'll be 92 in May. And when she turned 90, she looked at Loretta and said, I'm going to live to be 100. And Loretta looked at her and said, God help me.
All right, what do we got next?
I'm going to talk about burritos.
All right. Oh.
Because I had burritos for dinner last night.
Really?
Yeah, Loretta makes these phenomenal burritos.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never been invited.
You've never been invited?
No. For burrito night.
She makes way too much. I think there's probably some frozen. I can bring you some.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But anyway, once in a great while, restaurant chains will give you a total break from paying.
Okay.
This week, it's kind folks at Taco Bell. we have Taco Bell, don't we, in Colville?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say. Okay. All right. So you only have to drive, 22 miles to get this. All right.
Okay.
The days are getting shorter and darker, and they're brightening things up with free breakfast burritos.
Okay.
At the Rusty Putter, that's one of our more popular breakfast items.
A breakfast burrito?
Breakfast burrito, yeah.
It's handy. Drive it, eat.
Yeah, except these things are huge. Anyway,
Bib.
The only catch, you only have to grab one day to grab them. Pencil in Thursday, October 21st, which, by the way, is
Tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. To your calendars, because it's the day this limited time offer will take place. Participating Taco Bell locations, so you might want to give them a call, are giving out free breakfast burritos from 7 to 11. And I actually saw this earlier on a news feed. You can only have one freebie.
So, well, this is a way to get people to start eating their breakfast burritos, I guess. So, do you know? Have you heard on? If you saw it on TV, do you know our Spokane restaurants participating?
The Spokane what?
Our Spokane Taco Bell's participating in this.
Oh no, I haven't seen this.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, you should call, because a lot of times they're franchisees and they can't afford it, so they don't do it. So we don't want anybody saying, "Well, they said on the radio station in Chihuahua I could have a free burrito. I'm not leaving."
Yeah.
Right, we don't need any of that.
It's a corporate directive, but it doesn't necessarily have to be picked up by the franchise.
There you go. All right. So we could have misinformed you, but maybe not. If you really want to drive 22 miles for a breakfast burrito, you can. But check it out first. All right?
That's right. Okay. And if you get there and they don't, still have a burrito.
There you go. You drove all that way, you might as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have the feeling that we are absolutely no help. just maybe saying. All right, we are looking at 8:51. We got to do this.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing.
Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Oh, yeah, it's your news attack. First part's true. Second part is a bad joke, and he looks awful pretty when he gets mad. We'll kick it off with Mr. Mike Bentz.
I knew you were going to give me this one. Okay. All right. Well, we're in Britain, UK.
Okay.
A nurse in UK unsuccessfully tried to sue the National Health Service after claiming she was being secretly hypnotized at work. To force her to uncontrollably break wind.
I hypnotize people to do that all the time.
That's right. Listen to the radio show. Okay. All right. Okay. Xandra Semso insisted she was suffering from unwelcome gastrointestinal disturbances at work, including flatulence.
You know why you got stuck with that story?
Why?
Because you started in the wrong part.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, you're supposed to be at the news attack, and you're on Wacky But True. I was trying to figure out where you were.
But this was well worth it, right?
Okay, it was worth it. You know, and it's okay at work because, you know, there's a difference between girl farts and boy farts. All right? And you know me, I'm going to demonstrate. So, girls? No, that's not. That was boys. This one's girls. There you go. Much shorter. It's not a big deal. It's okay, ladies. All right, back up to the news attack, all right, where the first part's true and the second part is a bad joke. Study finds Americans still work nearly 20% more than Europeans. That's right. Wasn't that why European immigrants first moved to this country, to escape the tyranny of mandatory vacations? Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of studies,
okay,
there's one that says there may be a link between obesity and poor sleeping habits.
Oh.
Well, it's hard to sleep with all that chewing going on.
Do you snack in bed?
No, I do not. Never have.
All right. The trailer for Being the Ricardos is out, and it stars Nicole Kidman. If you were listening earlier, she stars as Lucille Ball. My second favorite Australian playing my favorite American comedian. If you're wondering, Chris Hemsworth is my favorite Australian, but he declined the part because he didn't want to dye his hair red.
Okay.
Not as funny as I thought it'd be.
All right. Okay. A study has revealed that vampire bats who become friends in captivity remain friends after being released into the real world.
Huh.
Oh, well, these days, social media does make it so much easier.
Huh. I didn't know bats would become friends with each other, like hang out.
I can honestly say I never really studied bats.
Huh. Well, I wonder if mice do that. Do they pal up?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Go out drinking on Saturday night? Wow.
Yeah, well, you could put a couple mice out and then put Mooch out there and see what happens.
Okay. Study has found artificially sweetened beverages may be just as bad for your heart as the sugar-laden kind. Sounds like ammo for kids to use to shut down mom and dad when they go back to the candy stash for a fourth time. Oh, yes, this is the time to steal your kids' candy.
That's right. Okay. Well, in Romania, a teacher was investigated for allegedly giving her students lessons and making obscene gestures. Oh, the good news is she's already received an offer from the Philadelphia Eagles to sit on the stands and taunt opposing teams.
Nice. I thought it was really funny. One day my dad was driving and got cut off in traffic, and my 4-year-old nephew turned around in the back seat, slid out of his buckle, in his car seat, and turned around and got in the back window and gave the guy the index finger. And I think, you really told him, but I think it probably knew what he meant. Police in India raided a zoo and busted 3 zookeepers who were selling rhino urine to people who believe it can cure diseases and is good for male potency. Here's my question. Which is scarier, a charging rhino or a guy who's crazy enough to crawl under one with a plastic cup? Have you ever seen a rhino go to the bathroom?
No. I've only ever seen one rhino in my life.
So it shoots out the back end backwards.
Okay.
A good 15 feet. And I've seen this at the zoo. And if they're mad at or irritated with the zookeeper that's in the pen with them, they will aim it at him. It's pretty impressive.
Really?
Yeah. All right.
Oh, another piece of trivia I'll plant in my file cabinet of a brain.
Excellent. My job is done here. I can go now.
Okay. Okay, so I get to end up talking about nudists.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The study found that nudists are just crude and likely to gossip about each other's bodies as people with clothes on.
Oh.
Nude men criticize women's weight, while nude women raise the size of men's private parts.
So sorry, Mike.
Oh, the only thing they both agreed on was none of them like sitting in wicker chairs.
I think you bailed yourself out of that one.
That's right.
Wicker chairs. All right, now on to the world of wacky but true, where we don't add anything to the stories, just sound effects to make them a little more personal. And whose turn is it? Oh, I guess it's back to me.
It is.
A man and his father driving down a highway in the UK noticed a semi-truck obliviously pushing a small white car, which was sideways down the highway. Other drivers tried to get the truck driver's attention, shouting, waving, pointing, hurling insults. Other drivers seemed to notice as well, as a lot of honking can be heard in the video that's on YouTube. Finally, the truck gets onto the highway shoulder, but it's not clear whether it actually stopped or not, or kept pushing the car. Could you imagine being in the car? But how did they get sideways? And then, I don't know. I do have a sound effect.
Well, if they pulled in front of the semi and it's a small car, they wouldn't,
They couldn't even see it underneath the nose.
There.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. It goes down like this.
We'll do what we can when we can. At the moment, we're helpless. You might as well sit back and enjoy the ride.
All right, sorry.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, an intruder was arrested after he called the police on himself in North Michigan. Boy, we're really kind of picking on Michigan at the moment.
Yay!
Okay. The incident began when officers responded to a breaking and entering complaint. The homeowner reported she was watching television in the living room when she saw a man entering the room she thought was her husband. She screamed. Whoa, when she realized it was not her husband, but who quickly came downstairs and told the man to leave. Yeah. Okay. So the trooper searched the area and located the 43-year-old suspect in the backyard of his parents' home nearby.
Loser!
That should give you a clue. A 43-year-old is living with his parents. Okay. Okay. When the trooper attempted to speak with the man, he fled into the woods. The K-9 team was called, but was unable to locate him. Later that evening, the man called 911 to report, "I'm lost."
Really?
Yeah. So then they triangulate the call to his cell phone and send in the K-9 team.
All right.
I just took my drowsy pills.
Ha! Evil never sleeps, mister.
That's right. But it does sleep at Mom and Dad's. That's so sad. I feel so bad for him. All right. Yeah. Man was left covered. The last two stories, I'm sorry, it's all about poo. A man was left covered head to toe in human poo after a plane unleashed its toilet waste into his garden. The disgusting downpour managed to cover the entire garden of his home in England that he was in at the time. Usually modern aircraft store their sewage in special waste tanks, ready to be disposed of on landing without incident. Yet that wasn't the case this July.
Well, you've heard the stories about the ice coming out of the sky. The blue ice.
The blue ice, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so
all right, hold on. I got a sound effect. Come on.
Uh-oh.
How can you make me miss my sound effect for a story like that?
Okay.
All right. Back up in the airplane.
If you have any poo, fling it now.
Okay. That's the best I had. Sorry. Last one. It's all for you.
I know. Thanks.
You're welcome.
2 robbery suspects in Sweden were arrested thanks to DNA evidence left behind at the crime scene. Investigators said the 2 men tied up a man in his home and stole cash and tools. Then the man left DNA on the ground near where they parked their getaway vehicle. Blood? Nah. Urine? No. Apparently, the thieves had a big dinner before their crime and just couldn't wait to get home to do the doo-doo.
Oh, really? Right there in the driveway?
In the driveway, yeah.
Oh.
Dude, DNA evidence from the excrement led to the arrest of men.
Oh, man.
There's something screwy around here.
Wow. And that, that'd be the crime. What do they call those guys? The crime guy that comes to the crime scene investigator? That would not be the job you'd want.
Oh, yeah.
Yuck. All right. What a way to make us all sick. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Yeah, well, thanks, Scott.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, folks.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
All right. That is our show for today. Any closing words, Mike, that are more pleasant?
Yeah, get out and vote.
All right. Get out and vote.
Get your ballot in.
All right.
Today's as good as tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you did it yesterday, thank you.
All right. And don't forget Little Shop of Horrors this weekend. You got shows at 7 on Friday and Saturday, matinee at 2 on Sunday. Other than that, I'm Scott Allen.
I'm Mike.
And we want you to have an awesome day.
The time has come for someone to put his foot down. And that foot is me.